Leslie, and she's going to tell you all about educational kinesiology today. So, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Em. I'm an educational kinesiologist, which just basically means that most of the work that I do is body focused. So we may be working in the physical realm to where the body is the only thing that we're looking at. We also bring in the emotional, the energetic, and the mental aspects of whole body wellness. But in each one of those, again, the body is that baseline. What is your body telling you? What are you feeling? It has its own language, and every little twinge, every feeling, pain, all of these things have a purpose. And it's your inner self trying to educate you on what it needs so that you can heal and be, at your best.
So does that mean I don't have to revisit traumatic experiences in my childhood? I don't have to tell you the things that have happened. My body will just tell you.
Absolutely. Yes, normally we want to at least bring to mind the things that are challenging for you. If it is a traumatic experience that you're wanting to work on, you don't necessarily have to focus on the experience itself, just more of how it feels, how you feel when it pops up or when you feel triggered. And that's enough, because your subconscious already knows what it needs, and just you bringing to mind everything that we do, all the techniques after that, have the intention of healing that base trauma, that inner layer of the onion.
So how does that work for depression? Like if somebody came in if I sent you somebody who's struggling with depression, how would you help?
Yeah, so first thing we would do is we would just kind of assess like where they're at, and their willingness to do the work, basically. From my perspective, depression is generally someone who is stuck revisiting the past. They're not able to move forward. Usually energy is low. They just don't have any motivation. So I always want to start with something that is going to give them an instant win. A technique that once they do it, they immediately notice that they feel better. And that allows them to get a little deeper, and we can explore techniques in other aspects.
Fantastic. And you're going to show us some today?
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you for coming.
Okay, so do you want to just do this like you came to me for a session?
Yeah. This is what it's like if you come for a session with us. I obviously have, which is amazing.
So normally whenever I start a session, I do bring in colors. So I would show, like if Em comes to me, I show her some different colors. You use your own intuition and your own sense of knowing, your gut instincts to pick a color, and then that helps to break down and really focus on what limiting belief comes up for you. We're not going to do that today, because if you're watching this, you're not going to have the colors, but that's normally how it starts. So that does take some of the pressure off of you, to where you don't have to say, okay, this is what I want to work on. By picking the color, it immediately goes right to the, oh wow, yep, that's what's going on for me.
It's never been wrong for me personally, just so that you know.
Yeah, and even if you do a few sessions, like normally I come in and Em's like, I want yellow 2 up.
She's so close. I dreamed about it last night and it was yellow up 3.
Yeah.
See how good.
So she already knows. A lot of this is on that subconscious, intuitive, however you want to explain it, level. So we would start with that. And then the first technique that I want you to do is the lazy 8. So lazy 8 has to do with bringing both sides of your brain hemisphere online. Whenever we get into that overwhelmed, stressed, survival mode, if you will, then our brain sort of shuts down. We get very one-sided in our thinking. We're either easily overwhelmed by all the details, or we can't see the forest for the trees. That sort of thing. So doing the lazy 8, do you remember what the lazy 8 is?
I mean, I see where you're at. forget to breathe. Big deep breaths into your stomach and then all the way out. One more big deep breath. And you can stop. So how's that feel?
Felt really good on my sinuses. Do you notice anything about your level of alertness or your eyes? Are they a little clearer, more focused?
It's hard to tell you, but it definitely felt calming to me. I was a little bit roped up and it kind of soothed me, but yeah.
So it's all about doing it with intention and going slowly and breathing. That's
I
very
forget that part.
yeah. I always remind people to breathe, and as soon as I do, they're like, oh yeah, thank
Like
God.
I was concentrating
forgot.
so hard
Right.
on like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mentioned the survival mode and how our brain can be very one-sided. One of the first things that happens to us physically when we get in that overwhelmed survival state is the tendon guard tends to shorten. The tendon guard is a group of muscles and ligaments that run down the back of your body, from the base of your spine all the way down to your heel. Okay? So whenever that shortens, we can have tension headaches, shoulder problems, lower back problems, knee problems. It's just all down
All
back
the
of our body.
things.
All the things, yes. So the easiest way to pull out of that survival and to stretch that tendon guard to where it's normally in, is to do lengthening activities, so stretches. So for this technique is all about lengthening that tendon guard, and like I said, if you turn around, so the tendon guard runs from the base of your spine all the way down your back into both legs and ends at your heel. So your Achilles is part of that. That lower back, like I said, shoulder issues, pain in your neck, the base of your skull. So to lengthen that, what I want you to do is I want you to cross one leg over the other. And I want you to, as you inhale, reach up. Exhale, and you're going to fold over as far as you can. It's okay if you don't go down very far, but you feel that stretch in that back leg? Okay, so come up. Again. Ideally, you'll do this at least 3 times, and you'll notice you'll be able to go a little further every time that you do this. So one more on this one. Okay, and this time when you come up, I want you to switch legs, so put your other leg in the front. You may notice your balance is a little off. We normally go to our dominant leg first, so it doesn't feel good to be on that non-dominant one. Okay? 3 times. Big inhale, fold over, you feel that good stretch.
You can go down for a second now.
Yep. You should, by the time you get to the 3rd one, you should be able to almost touch the floor. So this is lengthening the tendon guard all the way from the hips down to the Achilles.
And you did touch the floor.
Good. Okay, so now we've lengthened the tendon guard from your hips to your Achilles. How's your lower body feel?
Much better, much better.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is, because a lot of people hold tension in their shoulders and neck, we're going to work on that. And all of this is pretty quick. Like it doesn't take a lot of time to do it. You can do it while you're brushing your teeth in the morning. You can do it, in between activities. What I want you to do is reach across with one hand, and you're going to grab your trapezius muscle, that big muscle in your shoulder. Okay, squeeze it as hard as is comfortable to you. So you want a good grip on it, but not that you're hurting yourself. Okay. Now what I want you to do is look over that hand, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale and blow it out, twist your chin and neck to the opposite shoulder. You feel that pull under your
Oh
belly?
yeah.
Okay. So come back, reset, big breath in, exhale as you go around. So continue to do that until, well, you don't have to now, but if you're doing it, what you want to do is to continue to do that until you feel that muscle relief. And you will. You'll feel it give. And then it won't be quite the strain. Okay, so let's do the other shoulder. Same thing. Tight grip. Look over your hand. Deep breath in.
And after Leslie told me about this, it brought my awareness to it, so I noticed a lot more.
Yeah. So what you're looking for is if you roll your shoulders forward, so your collarbones, roll them forward. Underneath your collarbones, there's two indentions. Okay. And it's not necessary to pinpoint one certain little spot, but if you'll put a thumb on one side, two fingers on the other, okay, we make a C. Roll your shoulders forward, find those indentions. Then you can relax your shoulders. Okay. And then you have three choices. You can massage, tap, or press and hold. Whichever one feels better. Okay. So I just want you to do that for a few seconds. Deep breaths. Okay. So if you feel like you have tenderness on one side or the other, that's okay. Just be gentle with yourself. Use a lighter pressure. If you will continue to do this, that tenderness will go away. What this is, it's a buildup or blockage of energy in the body. These points are the K27 points, which is the end of the kidney meridian, and the kidney meridian is about fear. So releasing the fear so that you can take a deep breath in and then step forward.
I love this one, and you can do it all the time. And honestly, now that you've seen the technique, pay attention to like how often you're doing that. If you have PTSD, this is like you do.
Okay. So do it with the other hand for just a moment. So we always want to do both hands because that is activating and using both brain hemispheres. Our right brain controls the left side of our body, left brain controls the right side of our body. So using both allows both sides to come online, and it also, if you get a little deeper into it, has different meanings of
Masculine and feminine.
Yes.
Yin yang energy.
Yes.
Everything is so interconnected always.
yes. Okay, so how are you feeling?
Much better.
Okay. Are you noticing anything in your body?
I mean, right here is like a little activated, but I don't know if that's.
In your kidney area?
She's not surprised by that.
I'm not surprised by that. Okay, so if we were in a true session, when I ask about what her body's doing, she mentioned that. So then we would figure out which techniques we need to clear that energy to relieve that tension, that pain. Okay.
But we're not going to do that.
Yeah. No.
And these fears going to stay in our kids.
For now. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is tapping. So if you have any experience with like EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping in general, she knows on this one. Yes.
Tapping doesn't come naturally to me, but I'm going to try it for you because it might work for you.
Yes. So if you're not familiar with EFT tapping, it's tapping on different places on the body that correlate with meridians. Okay, and it's just releasing the energy. You can solely tap, or you can add in a statement, a script statement, which normally goes, even though I am blank, I love and accept myself, or I deeply and truly love myself, or whatever makes you most uncomfortable. Because when you say it, it's not going to feel good.
Did you see me? Like, my whole body was like, not doing that.
Yeah. So even though I am
Afraid.
I love and accept myself. Okay? So this, we're going to tap on this point here. This is the karate chop point. This is point number 1. So you can do both together like this. And then say your statement. Even though I am
Afraid. I love and accept myself.
how'd you feel when you said that?
Afraid.
Okay. So
And my kidney was like, don't say it.
yeah. So you really want to do this and repeat the statement until that discomfort or that wariness, that
Awareness.
that pulling back, until that lessens. Okay. So if you said it the first time and you're like on a scale of 1 to 10, you're 7 uncomfortable, you want to say it until you're a 1 or 2. Okay. So we're not going to go through all of it because it can take some time.
Especially for me, very stubborn.
And if you don't want to use the statements, that's okay. Because your subconscious already knows what And you can say the statement, or you can think the statement, or you can just tap and notice how that feels.
I'll say it so you can see my body change. Okay. Even though I am afraid, I love and accept myself.
And how was your...
It's probably a little bit less noticeable. It's more of an internal, like, oh, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
Okay. I have some other statements here too. So since we are talking about depression, I didn't memorize all of them, but so even though I'm scared, even though I am in my own way, even though I feel like I'm a bother,
Oh, that's a good one.
even though I need to do it right, even though I have to appear blameless to survive. So there's a whole bunch of them, but that just kind of gives you an idea. These things can get really intense, and if you, I can actually give you this list.
Yeah, we'll upload it.
And you upload it. So as you read through it, the one that makes you most uncomfortable, and you're like,
That's
the
the
one
one.
you need to tap on.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, you're not going to tap on, even though I am happy, you know.
We don't need to release happy. Happy doesn't seem to get stuff.
Exactly. Okay, so the next point is going to be at the edge of your eyes. So if you have glasses, of course, you'll take them off. But right at the corner of your eye, you're just going to tap. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I want you to, as we're going through the things, just kind of notice your level. You're not really saying the statement, but it's there. So just notice. Okay. All right, 4 is underneath your eyes. Right on those, up a little higher, like on your sides.
Yep.
So you would say the statement, even though I am afraid, I love and accept myself. Okay, you want to tap it at least 7 to 10 times each time that you say the statement.
Oh, okay.
So don't go too fast.
I like to really go fast.
Yeah, she rushes through it because then she doesn't have to sit in it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have constantly slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down, slow down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So 5 is under your nose. Always 2 fingers, because in energy, your fingers have a charge. I guess it's not the right word, but our thumbs are neutral, and then I always get them mixed up. But index is either positive, negative, and then it's opposite, negative, positive, negative, positive. So it could be switched, but that way, like when you put your fingers together, they cancel each other out. This is a positive, this is a negative, positive. Because you got me do that. I have, yes. Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So 5 is under your nose. Yeah. Always 2 fingers, because in energy, your fingers have a charge. I guess it's not the right word, but our thumbs are neutral, and then I always get them mixed up. But index is either positive, negative, and then it's opposite, negative, positive, positive. So it could be switched, but that way, like when you put your fingers together, they cancel each other out. This is a positive, this is a negative, positive. Because you got me do that. I have, yes. Yeah. So that's why we always use 2 fingers whenever we're doing this. Okay. So number 6 is under the bottom lip, your chin. You would say your statement, or just think about what it is that's challenging to you and how you want to be. You know, the outcome that you'd like to see. 7 is here. Remember, we already cleared things.
Same spot.
It's the same spot. We already cleared these. But now we're going to do it a different way. Okay. Big breaths. You gotta breathe. Alright, so this is number 7. Number 8 is going to be on our sides. So, ladies, if you, when you wear a bra, right there at your bra strap. Okay. Fellas, you're going to go about a hand and a half. And you're going to feel right there on it. It's actually the 9th rib. If you poke on it, it's probably a little tender. Okay. So this is the spleen 21 point. You're you're going to tap it the same way.
You can do both together. You can do one side at a time.
So the spleen 21 point is about homeostasis. What you're bringing into your body, what you're bringing into your environment, what you're bringing in energetically with your thoughts, or all of that has to balance with what you're putting out. So if you are a person who finds yourself always taking on, you're that person that people come to dump on. You have to get rid of that. If you don't, what does it do? It
sits in your spleen.
Contaminates you. Yeah. So this tapping this releases all of that. Okay. And you want to say your statement with it, but then also kind of think about, especially if you find tenderness there, what is it that is not balanced? What is it that I'm not giving as much as I'm getting, or am I getting as much as I'm giving? What is that balance? Just thinking about it will help you release it. Okay. The last point is going to be at the top of the head. So right there where that soft spot was, we're going to tap on that and breathe. And again, this can be done very quickly, running through all the points. If you're in a hurry, it can also be a meditation. It can be a 30-minute thing. So however much time you have to devote to it. So how do you feel?
I liked it. Yeah, I definitely wasn't retracted by the time I got. Actually, by the time I got here, I couldn't physically feel myself retract, and it kind of went more into just an awareness that my knee was there. And then by the time I did this one, I felt good.
And without the statement?
Well, I was saying the statement.
Okay.
And what's the word? Not on purpose. It was like unintentionally. It would just pop out my head while I was tapping. Despite my best efforts not to make it.
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing that we're gonna do, it's another tapping, and this one can be done on its own. It's not part of the sequence. It's the liver 11. So if you bend your arm, it's gonna be right there at that crease.
Right there?
Yeah. So, and again, this is not like you have to get on the exact spot. As long as you're in that area, it's going to work. Okay. So this is the spot for letting go. So, yeah. So what
She
I want
snapped that one in there, guys.
What I want you to do is I want you to think of something that you need to let go of, but maybe not. You feel like you're not ready, or
I got this one.
Okay, so you kind of get where I'm going with this. We all know there's something in our lives that we're holding on to desperately because we don't want change. We don't want, we're afraid of what's coming. Whatever that looks like for you, this is the point. All right. So I want you to just tap this point only. We're going to do it in a waltz rhythm. So a heavy 1, light 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Just let your mind kind of do what it does. See what comes up for you. What are your thoughts? How does your body feel? You notice tension, maybe your shoulders cringed or your hip has a little twinge in it. That's fine. Just notice it. Keep tapping and breathe. Heavy 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I mentioned the right-left thing earlier. So Em started tapping on the right, which is, yeah, you can keep tapping.
Oh.
Or you can switch if you're ready. So she started tapping on the right. In what I do, that lets me know that it's the details of the situation or the challenge that she's not wanting to let go of. Like she is just stuck on the what next, what then, that step detail part of it. That's what she's holding on to.
Well, what if I started on my right?
So
That's true, by the way.
yeah. So if you started on the right, hopefully you're doing this with us. So if you started on the right, then that tells me, no, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. She started tapping on the right, which is the left brain hemisphere.
Yeah, I said it right, which is the detailed part. Okay, so if you started tapping on your left arm, that's the right side of the brain, that tells me that it's the big picture, the idea of the thing that you're holding on to. Not so much the thing itself, it's the emotional attachment to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wanted to just hold. I didn't
Yes.
even want to tap. I wanted to just sit there and hold. So you can. This is a tapping point, but if your body's telling you to hold, listen to what your body's telling you. That's what I love about this technique. Your body's talking to you, but it's also telling you which thing you need and how to do it. And it's all about knowing the language. It's like if you had said to me, I don't want to tap it, I just want to hold it. Okay, so holding it is, let's see how to explain it. Just holding on the point is not necessarily releasing, it's pulling it into, just think of it like a black hole, like you're just sucking all of it in. Gathering it together. Yes, gathering it. And then when you let it go, you will feel that release. Just listen to your body, do what it asks of you. And then after that, you may want to tap, just listen to your body. And my whole body wanted to tap with it, what did that mean? What do you mean by? Like I was doing this and I noticed my body was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like it was like kind of going like that. Yeah, it's just the flow of the energy of you, like your whole body is on board with that. Like yes. Good. That's good. My body usually doesn't agree with me. Yeah. Yeah, instead of you being like really stiff and robotic in your tapping, the fact that your body was like in flow with it. Okay, so that was good. Yeah. Okay, so that's basically the techniques that I brought today, just because in my experience I've struggled with depression myself. It runs in my family. Depression is that, for me, and like I said, people who come to me, I found that it's very unmotivated, very lethargic. You're not really physical. You can't even summon the energy to take that next step. And super focused on the past. And you just kind of like are stuck in it, mired by it. So these techniques are things that are super easy, super simple. They don't take a lot of effort. Not a ton of movement. We're not asking you to go run 5 miles. Yes. And it's just to get you started. It's just to help you notice a difference in your body. Because that's all it takes is one little spark of like, oh, okay, this felt better when I did this. I can breathe. So then you'll find yourself unconsciously doing it. You'll be making your coffee in the morning and rubbing and, brushing your teeth and rubbing and almost everybody has seen me do this in a session. If you share something really fun, or I can tell you're really struggling, and share a really sad memory, you might just unconsciously see myself. Yeah. So just notice what of these things you find yourself randomly doing, and how you feel. And if you have any questions for Leslie,